Right guys, didn't know camera even on then. What have I got to say? Let's start again. Right guys, yeah, update. It's been a few days again. It's been a few days. I've done lots of things. Can't really tell you what most of them are though. I can tell you what they are. They're not secret bikes or anything. I just can't. It's been a blur. It's all been a blur. No, I don't know. Basically, I've been doing these 3 bikes all at once, and the customer's been asking me for updates, and I've basically been saying like, there's not much to update. It's just all going to come together right at the end. Main reason being is because I'm under pressure. I've had to plan. There's been a lot more planning involved. It's not normally I just set going. You just crack on with it, let it build itself, but because I've got no room for mistakes, I've had to make sure that I've got a good plan of how to get from the start to the end all in one go before I even start it. You know, just get everything prepped first. So I've got drawings for it, for most of them, ready to cut out, make into parts. That's what I'm doing today. I'm going to build up this Trackmaster Mega, which I'll show you. It's down here. It's in bits. It's looking like that. So it's nothing fancy at all. But yeah, I need to weld that onto there. So I need to make sure that they're round. And then weld that onto that, which will bring it back straight. And then once I've done that, I made that all nice and pretty, I need to join it. Let's get that flipping zoom out. Oh, wrong way. You see that down there? The collector on bottom. I need to take that off the bike. And where's my finger? Get that, knock that end up to 2 inch, so make that end 2 inch, and then weld that onto the end of that. That's too much in, isn't it? Yeah, weld the collector onto the end of that, which is going to be some awkward stacking. You see that's balanced there nicely, and I can tack that, but yeah, trying to balance that collector on the end of that afterwards, that's going to be some task and a half. So I was thinking I'll probably film some of it. I might film myself trying to hold it and weld it and whatnot. Just because otherwise there'd be nothing in this video. I'll have done 3 bikes without recording anything for it, and they're 3 nice bikes as well, so we're all going to miss a nice opportunity here, but we're missing it basically because of the time scale. because of that, yeah. Just because I've not got no time to film, I've just got to keep going. But yeah, should be able to do this. I thought about maybe turning it into a reel, but I have no idea. That's gone out my window as well. So I've not took no photographs in like 2-3 weeks. I've not done hardly any Instagram posts, no Facebook posts, no YouTube videos, no emails, no phone calls, no nothing. Just been working. So by the end of the day, I probably should. By the end of the day, I've got to have something to show you. I should have that. Well, I'll do hydroforming today as well at some point. But yeah, I've been welding this morning, so I'm going to just carry on welding for a bit while I'm in the zone, and then I'm going to get the pump out this afternoon, pump up some water. Then end of the day, I'll get camera back out and I'll show you. I think I might weld this Manx Mega one together as well while I'm here, and then I'll show you the 3 bikes with hopefully 3 exhaust pipes on them. But yeah, fingers crossed. Let's touch some wood. I'll fart about with these Megas first, get them nice and round, get them cleaned up, and then we'll start tacking them together. Find that button again. Right guys, we're only just in there, aren't we? This is just in that, and that to that. Say it's fiddly as balance, it only just balanced, so I'm alright with that. Let's turn it that way so you can see what's going down. I'm going to tack it on that backside though, because I think the backside's the place where it's out of line the most, so I'm just going to do that first, get that lined up, weld to weld. That's actually hard. Sometimes, what would I do here? I can lock that up in other scenarios, but it's a bit too tall. Normally I'd get a piece of metal and just rest it here for that to lean on. Let's see, it's a bit too tall. Maybe I'll spin it this way so I can have a proper look. Right, if I can tack that there, I'll be happy. One of these, even doing this now, you know, just tacking it without checking it, I feel like I've not checked it enough times and I might muck something up. That's why I've not been doing videos, just because I've spent all my spare time just checking, double checking, making sure everything's going alright, on plan, make sure everything's going to get done on time, to be honest. Right, one tack, he'll tack and then it'll pull away on front. Right, tack onto the side now. It's fair in line, so right, now normal trick is to go over onto the bar now and just tap the edge so it's a bit closer. Now it's held in place, yeah, tap it together. So I don't know how you're going to be able to see that. It's over there, isn't it? I don't know if you can see that from there. But yeah, get it on this bar. You probably want a bit more. Get it on that bar there, and then yeah, tap it round a bit. Oh, knew that was going to happen. It snapped the tack. I could feel it wobbling about. That back tack weren't strong enough. Suppose it'll be a little bit closer together now. Best bet is just keep doing this. I'm going to put an extra tack on it this time. We're nearly out of battery as well, so see, I just put an extra tack on it. That's the plan, is to do that, tack it, close the edge up, tack it again, close the edge up, tack it again, close the edge up, and then it'll be finished. And then I'll hammer it all around there to close the edge up completely before I weld it. And then I'll probably weld it, grind it to a nice point before I weld on this one, because there's a reason, because, and you can't see me to explain. Because if I weld that on the end of there, I can't get a bar straight in, because it'll have another bend on the end of it, like that, pointing upwards. I can't get a bar straight into there to tap it all back round. So yeah, so I'll weld that. That's my first plan, is to weld that up, because this is the weld that'll be on shore, this edge. That one will be under the bike, the collector will be under the bike, so them ones don't need to be as nice as this one needs to be. So I'll do this one first, get in there with a bar, tap it all back round, leave a nice sharp edge on it. Then this one, that one just needs to be ground off, it don't need to be perfect. So then after I've finished that, made it look really nice, I'll weld that one on the top, dress that one as best as I can, because I can still get in one end with a bar to tap it back round. And then when I put the collector on, I'll just have to make sure that they both meet up perfectly, because I won't be able to tap it round, because I'll have to go in through with the flipping 3 holes on the top of it, won't I, to try and get to that to tap it. But that'll be under bike. So normally if you see a production weld, the last weld will be the worst, first weld's the best, the last one's normally under bike, and it's normally blocked on. Like, yeah, if you've got a VTR or whatever, if you've got a normal standard production bike, yeah, the weld under bike will be just a MIG weld round, because there's no way of getting in to finish it off. So even when you see these where they've been finished off really nice, yeah, the last weld, it's normally where they join the pipe into the collar. It's just a bit, it's just a weld, no finishing on it. So that's going to be my plan. So what I'll do, yeah, I'll just crack on, no showing you what I'm doing, because battery's going to run out, it'll take forever. Yeah, I'm going to tack it, hammer it, blend it, weld it, and then I'll come back and I'll show you a full one at the end. Right, I'm out of here. Right guys, first bit's done. I've done exactly what I said. I put that sharp edge on there, but I've not quite finished it yet. That end there is tacked up, just wants welding together, that small end. That end looking nice. I say it's got a crisp edge on it, if you can see that. It's not the crispest of edge, because that angle's not right much. If it were more of an angle, then you can get more of an edge on it, if you get me. That one, I'm not going to bother putting an edge on it. I've rounded it off, just because it's where it's an inlet in it, so it wants a nice smooth transition from it coming in. It's got quite a sharp angle on that, so you could put a good edge on that one, because it's got a sharp angle, but because it's an exhaust, I don't want a sharp angle there. That one up at the top won't matter, because it'll have a load of wadding around the perf, so that sharp angle won't matter. It's not got nothing to do with the flow of the exhaust, but that's where the exhaust is going to come out of the collector into the Mega. So yeah, I want that one to transition nicely. So I thought what I'll do now is I'll put camera back on tripod, and we'll just film it. It'll take me 2 seconds to weld around that. Well, it won't, it'll take a few minutes, but so it might make an alright video, who knows, get it on there. And if I can get you pointing in the right place, see about there-ish. Yeah, so we're just going to buzz round that, put my gloves on, get my welder out. It's not too much of a job. Now I've tacked it, it's just a case of just welding around that in a circle. So there were a couple of dirty bits when I was welding around that, the big weld, around that bit there. We have to go back in and fill them back in. So now I think it's where when I tack it sometimes it gets a bit of muck in it, and then once I've welded around it and I grind it off, there's pock marks, little tiny holes in it that you have to keep welding up. I can notice a few there, but they're on the back side, on the bottom side of it, so I've just left them. Just because you can fill them in, and then when you grind them back off they're still there. It's really hard to get them out. Someone said I think you can get them out if you put a bit of stainless rod in it, but then if you chrome it, the chrome won't stick to stainless, so I can't do that. Although I think this will be black. It'll be black because it's a race system in it. It's going to be a copy of a Rob North system, and they're normally black. There's just a bit of a gap there, it's trying to blow an hole in it, I had to fill it. Which is alright, kind of expected. Right, one last little bit. And then time to grind it all back off again. There we go. Nothing fancy at all, basically, because it don't need to be. Just well round, make sure it goes on the inside. So, right, let's have a look. Basically, yeah, that's it. We're just going to make sure it penetrates, because I'm going to grind it all off. So you want to make sure there's the same amount of weld on the inside as there is on the outside. That's the basics of it. When I started, Grandad pretty much put us on this stuff, and he just said, that's the best way to learn. Hold on, camera stop then. Best way to learn is to learn on something that you're going to grind back, basically, because as long as you've got the weld through to the other side, don't matter what it looks like, you're not going to leave it on show. That's what I wanted to do before, put it in focus. So yeah, so that's basically what I've done. Just a weld, just slap a weld round it. While you're doing it, like, obviously try and practice making it look neat, but yeah, for the majority of it, just get it to burn through to the back. If I flip you around, that is, hold on, focus, that's what it looks like, see? Let's say, nothing pretty. Just a nice, big, chunky weld. I'll spin it. It changes. That weld there is it's totally different to the weld on the outside, so that's an inside weld because you're doing it on an inside of an angle, and then as you're welding round it kind of changes. You change the speed, and because it welds easier on the outside than it does on the inside, so you have to slow it right down when you get on that inside bit. It soaks up a bit more heat, I think, because there's more plate around it, whereas this one's got a lot of fresh air around it. You're in the middle of nowhere there, and then that's got plate either side, so it soaks up some of the heat, and you just have to go slow around that bit. So yeah, that's what it looks like so far. It's looking good. Time to put it back on the bar again, hammer it out, make it look nice, and then I'm going to go and get the bikes out. They're all asleep still under sheets. Get the bike out, see what it looks like on that collector, mark it in line with the collector, and then I can take the collector off and weld it onto this end, because that end there, let's say the middle bit there, if it'll focus in on that, and it just picks random things to focus in on, I think. But yeah, you can see that's a nice, just nicely blended in. So yeah, nothing to do on that, just get that one blended in, and then go and find the collector. And like I say, yeah, the worst weld of this now will be the collector weld. I might just leave it, if I can get it to dab round nicely, I might just leave the weld on. Or, right now, yeah, I'm going to, the collector to join it to the pipes, I'll braze that on that I will definitely just leave that weld on. I won't do no dressing on that. This I might dress it off, but if it's got a nice weld between that and the collector, that's probably where it needs to be the strongest as well. So yeah, if I can get away with a nice weld on that, then I'll just leave it as it is, because like I said, there's no way of going inside it to sort the weld out, to tap the weld back up in a way. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and I'll be back again shortly. Right, morning guys. It's Monday. It's Monday. It feels like Groundhog Day. I have been in here non-stop for the last 2 weeks, I think. I think I've done 2 Sundays in a row. So yeah, like an homing pigeon, just keep coming back here, finish late some days, go home. Like Saturday night, went home, watched MotoGP, come back in, worked on Sunday, went back home last night, watched MotoGP, come back in. But she's done. That's the Trackmaster. The Trackmaster's done. One of them down. I've also got the guy coming from Wales to pick up that CB900 that's been here since like last November or something. So I've got a bit of a busy morning. I sent some pictures of this to Pete last night, and he asked me if I were happy with it. I hate when people ask me that. Hate it. So I was just sat there for an hour looking at pictures that I had on my phone from every different angle. Am I happy with it? I don't know. One thing I weren't happy with. There's one thing I weren't happy with, and as soon as I put them on, I weren't happy with them. They're all right, but I'm not happy with them. So I'm going to see if I can modify him now. He's coming picking it up, I assume, at dinner time. And I used to whip him off. He asked me if I could give him a quick lick on polisher as well, because I think he's going to take him straight for ceramic coating. So he wants me to buff out my grinding marks. Yeah, so that just means I'm just going to pull it apart. But yeah, the one thing I'm not happy with, springs on bottom. I put them both in a straight line. I think they'll look better as a V. They're always a V on works ones, but the way I've done it, I thought, nah, they might look better in a straight line, and then I've done it and they don't look better in a straight, or I don't think so. I bet now, yeah, I'd edge my bets, I should say, that it's going to look better if I put a V on it. So let's have a look at it, because I think it looks mint. Like I say, I've looked at it from every angle now, and I'm not right sure. From so right down below, if you go really, really low, which you'll never ever see it really, really low, there's a little bit of a waggle in Mega. I know he's not going to be quite happy about that, but it looks absolutely perfect when you stood upright at it. So this is what it is. It's just one of them. Do you know, like there's always one dodgy angle. 90% angles, you look at it, all good. One angle, you think, it's the compromise angle. What they call the compromise angle. What I call the compromise angle. You just have to, and it's the one the way you look underneath the bike. So it's not the worst compromise. Every other angle looks alright. If I spin it around, I'll show it you. Like I say, this is coming picking up today, so this might be the last time you see it. So the bit I'm not 100% happy about are them. You see there's two spring hooks, they run in a straight line. I'm going to V them up into the middle, V that one down, and I think they'll look slightly better. So I'm going to take them two spring hooks off, clean the braze off, and then put the spring hook in the middle of the two spring hooks and just use one point to mount the two springs. I think that'll look a bit more works. This bit here, you see that little bit of straight and that little gap underneath? That's the only compromise angle. So from down here it just looks a bit like it goes up straight across, and on a works one it goes in a straight line from there up to there. But there's that oil filter there that I've got to miss, and these two bolts underneath here that kind of stop you from just doing a straight run. And I tried it, that's what I tried first, is doing a straight run, and it didn't look right, so that's how she's looking, and she's looking good. Pipes are all nice and tight in at the front. And like I say, nice all joined in, super tight underneath. It comes up into that nice mega. That mega is exactly the same. I studied some Rob North pictures yesterday, and that looked exactly like a Rob North one. Nice big hole in it. It's that 3-inch hole in a 4-inch mega. And then I've even like proper worked it up with this. Stamped my name on there. Yeah, I won't focus in on that for you. And then TIG brazed it round.